What's up, y'all? Today we're talking about the future content of MK1 allegedly being canceled, which was through credible sources. So let's go ahead and look at some stuff, then let's talk about it, break it down, and react and all that stuff, man. I appreciate y'all.
Hello and welcome. This is Roofamonger and my friends.
Roofamonger the GOAT!
Some, I guess, unfortunate news on the Mortal Kombat 1 front, in that it looks like a planned future for Mortal Kombat 1 may no longer be happening.
It's crazy.
So not too long ago, Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns came out, the new story mode.
Yes.
And Season 2, Combat Pack 2, however you want to call it, with the new DLC.
I mean, Combat Pack 2's not even finished yet, and we're getting this type of info.
Characters, we have Sector, Cyrax, Noob Saibot, and also our first DLC guest character, Ghostface, just recently came out. So basically, lots of things on the Mortal Kombat 1 front, right? Well, for the future, maybe though not so much. So what exactly is going on here? So over on the Mortal Kombat Leaks Reddit, there was a thread discussing the latest data mining efforts by Interloco. Interloco, if you're unaware, is one of the main forces of data mining behind Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah.
And
Very
as
credible.
always, data mines are never necessarily proof of anything, just that there's stuff in the game files, but it's always interesting to discuss. And in the comments of this thread comes poster Fate Unknown. Fate Unknown says, no, this is not going to be Combat Pack 3. Now, just to put it out there, Fate Unknown is a very credible Mortal Kombat insider. When it comes to various NRS-related news articles and, leaks, rumors, whatever, this person has a very, very high batting average. If this was some random, there would not be a video. Because it's Fate Unknown, this lends a lot of credibility to this.
Yeah.
In response, someone asked, is there going to be a Combat Pack 3 at all? And Fate Unknown says no. This would go on to be expanded. Fate Unknown stating Combat Pack 3 and a second story expansion were planned.
That's crazy.
All canceled recently. No more characters after Combat Pack 2. A cameo or two might make it in since there's already been work done on them, but I don't know yet.
Damn.
So yeah, that's
that's crazy. There's gonna get another story expansion. Like, I don't know how much we could actually say though with this game. Like, the whole multiverses thing is like they could just do whatever they want, but that's kind of crazy, man. That they were gonna have like a cameo pack and everything too. Wild.
Disconcerting, right? Ed Boon has been out there multiple times. One of the definitely negatives, you could say, of NRS games is they generally do not get the same level of support as you might find in, say, a Street Fighter. Usually it's 2 years and hey, we're done. See you later. See you next game. And Ed Boon has been very much front-facing and saying this game will be the longest supported Mortal Kombat title.
And I remember when he tweeted that, was saying that on podcast interviews and all that stuff.
And when Ed says stuff like that, I very much believe him, but there's one big problem in that Ed doesn't call the final shots. Warner Brothers does.
Yeah.
So in this statement here by Fate Unknown saying there will be no Combat Pack 3 and no more major DLC characters, although maybe some more cameos because they're already finished. There's a follow-up question asked, and why were they canceled? And Fate Unknown states that Chaos Reigns sold poorly.
Damn.
And to be frank, I very much believe that to be the truth.
Yeah.
Like by Mortal Kombat standards anyways.
Yes.
A Mortal Kombat's poor sales can be another game's amazing sales.
Yeah.
But so far...
Exactly. It's why I always say that stuff. Like, MK1 is not doing great due to MK standards, not just to overall game attributions, you know what I mean?
Combat 1 as a whole, regardless of Chaos Reigns, hasn't sold quite like, say, previous MK entries.
Yes.
Like, famously, Mortal Kombat 11, despite, some
went
gameplay
crazy.
concerns,
Top 10
it was
sales,
not
right?
everyone's favorite Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But it did very well.
Yeah.
It sold like 15 million copies. Right now, Mortal Kombat 1 is currently at about 4 million overall copies. And you'd think that's great, right? Like, in comparison, Street Fighter 6 has recently reached the 4 million milestone. And for Street Fighter, it's, oh my God, 4 million in like a year? That's amazing. But for Mortal Kombat, it's like 4 million in a year? That's disappointing. For better or worse, Mortal Kombat is held to a much different standard for sales because it has just much more mainstream appeal to the casual buyer. People who won't buy Street Fighter, won't buy Tekken, will buy Mortal Kombat because, say, even like Call of Duty, right? Mortal Kombat just has mainstream appeal. You don't got to be a hardcore fighting game sicko. You can just buy Mortal Kombat, have fun with it. That's kind of how things have always been held.
Always.
But with Mortal Kombat 1 very much underperforming in sales compared to the previous entry in the game, and there can be a lot of reasons for it, honestly. Like, not everyone loves that we keep doing the reboot thing. The whole multiverse thing.
So, exactly. And it's crazy because I'm the hardcore, sweaty, competitive gamer, bro. But I'm still a fan at the end of the day. Multiverses is terrible for casual. The cameo system, terrible for the casual that wants to pick up and play this game. You have to put too much of a thought process into this game in order for it to be enjoyable as a party game. And it's not sweaty or like respectably credible enough for the tourney level. Hence why the tourney numbers right now.
Thing is very played out, and Chaos Reigns like doubled down on that. So not many people are too enamored with that story mode, that campaign.
Facts.
Obviously, the addition of cameos as well, assists.
Told you.
Very, very different for traditional Mortal Kombat gameplay. And for my money and for my impressions of what I've seen out of the casual audience, the casual audience does not like assists.
Facts.
At least in the context of Mortal Kombat. I think our cameos are perfectly fine myself, but I'm also a hardcore fighting game player.
Yes.
And of course, balance concerns early on.
Facts. All types of languages in the world, Roofamonger, and you're speaking facts. Casuals do not want to do this. Hardcore fighting game enthusiasts like Roofamonger, myself, other people, we don't give a shit. We're having a great time with it. Casuals do not want to be doing this.
In the game's life, balance was kind of all over the place, right? And in recent months, the last few patches, things have been going very well for MK. I think MK has been doing fantastically.
Much better.
The game's only been getting better and better and better, in my opinion.
Especially since launch. Launch was ass.
But it could be one of those things, the damage is already done.
It's already been done.
Like, look at Street Fighter V. By the end of Street Fighter V's life, I think everyone...
I always compare this game to Street Fighter V also. Like, literally, Roofamonger is echoing everything I say on my streams and everything. Like, Street Fighter V was finally good to the end, but it already pushed everybody out the door. MK pushed everybody. Every casual there is capable is out the door. Viewership out the door and all that stuff.
No, agree. Street Fighter V was a pretty dang decent game, right?
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't in those beginning years.
Yeah.
And the beginning times of any given game are what shape perception.
Yeah.
And other games, well, smaller scale, but Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6's early, presentation to the public was not good.
Yeah.
The game definitely got a lot better over time, but, the early impression is what kind of damaged the game. Once again, Mortal Kombat 1 sales for, any normal game, they would kill for it, right?
100%.
But by Mortal Kombat standards, I guess things just aren't working out the same way. And Warner Brothers, looking at the numbers, this is really all they care about. If Chaos Reigns didn't get whatever internal numbers they were hoping for, they figure, okay, cut our losses. We're just going to move on to the next thing. No more development funds for the game.
Exactly.
Now, you could also very fairly argue that the relative price for Chaos Reigns is part of the low sales because it was not cheap. The overall price asked for the package
like 60
was definitely
USD,
higher
right?
than some people anticipated, which then can lead to lower sales.
Yes.
And rest assured, whatever the next thing for NRS Studios is, they're working on it, and they have been working on it for some time. If there was to be a full-on Combat Pack 3, and another story mode on top of the ones we already have, then whatever they're working on currently probably is not Mortal Kombat 2, and it is very weird to say Mortal Kombat 2. It's weird to say Mortal Kombat 1. It's even weirder to say Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
Injustice 3, hey, it's been a while, for sure.
But nah.
Injustice 2 came out in 2017. It's been a long time.
I don't think they make Injustice
But then
3.
again, if Warner only cares about sales, Injustice never did Mortal Kombat numbers.
Never.
Or heck, maybe NRS is making something new for once. That'd be kind of cool. Ever since they became their own company, it's been Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Mortal Kombat again, and now whatever they're working on now.
Yeah.
But however you swing it, yes, maybe corporate-wise, dollars-wise, MK1 underperformed, specifically Chaos Reigns underperformed. But it sucks that we can't get one MK game, one NRS game to kind of go the distance. They go for multiple years like a Street Fighter can.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the one silver lining is they could in a way.
So there's a lot of things in there that actually hold it. One, I don't think Injustice 3 is going to happen. Not at all. It's not going to do numbers at the end of the day. If MK is not even doing numbers, whatever they're doing next has to have MK in the title. Maybe another MK DC2. a Mortal Kombat collection for a little while to get some money to make the funds make up for it, or you're getting an MKX2 like or an MKX remaster type game that can help out with some funds to like really up what was happening with MK1, and then just like making the game better overall. I still think they're gonna have a lot of monetization aspects, and at the end of the day, MK is a solidified brand. It's not just this fighting game anymore. It never has been since like a long time ago, since the 90s, since it's like really proved itself. It's a brand. It's Call of Duty of fighting games. So despite how bad this game is, people will always come back to Mortal Kombat. Despite how bad the game is, the brand always comes back. There's still a new movie coming around. People still damn well wear Mortal Kombat Halloween costumes everywhere. Once Mortal Kombat announces another game, everybody's going to go right back to it because we know the potential that Mortal Kombat does have. Same with Call of Duty. When Call of Duty announces more and more and more, some of them are flawed, some of them are good, some in between are good, some like are what the hell at launch and then they're better later on. Like it's always like that. It's the Call of Duty of fighting games, what Mortal Kombat is, and we know MK could be a good product. So despite this, as long as we hear MK, we're gonna be right back. I speak for everybody. I don't want to hear that shit.
Maybe if there is no Combat Pack 3, we won't get any more DLC characters. As Fate Unknown speculated, we might get a few more cameos.
Yeah,
because the work is probably already done on a few. There is no cameos announced for Combat Pack 2 after all. So maybe a few more cameos, but
yeah,
hopefully at least maybe even balance-wise, they can continue to update the game.
Just make the game better,
I just don't want to
stronger.
see how things ended up like Mortal Kombat 11 again. This is how they ended Mortal Kombat 11's life. Just a tweet saying, yo, we're done. See you later.
That's crazy.
Never got a third season. And keep in mind, this game sold 15 million copies.
Yeah.
We couldn't get a third season there. I'd have to check the numbers. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe MK11 is the highest selling traditional fighting game of all time.
That's crazy.
And we couldn't get a season 3 there. And I guess the plans were to finally break that curse with the MK1, but not happening now because Chaos Reigns didn't quite move the numbers Warner Brothers hoped. Once again, if this is all true, and I believe it to be true because Fate Unknown is a very credible insider, I have no reason to doubt them, then this is just all a shame. Maybe we can get that third year of support with whatever the next game's going to be. That all said, my friends, though, that is the news as it stands. I know you got something to say about it, so post it in the comments below. And other than all that, that is the...
So everything that he's saying, vastly true. I'll say all the time. He's echoing what I say on stream every day because I do love this franchise. And is it officially done? No. I think content-wise, they might be done in terms of giving out much more... What they're going to try to do now is to try to really profit off, I guess whatever is a profit to them at this point, profit off the most simplistic, minimal approaches. Cameos if they're done, or maybe making certain cameos. Balances, maybe a couple of more patches. I think they'll do that for a little while longer. I think content totality is done. It's definitely an expansion pack, not even close to it. This Mortal Kombat has not gone to the masses that they really wanted it to be in terms of casual outlooks. And there's just, Invasion just wasn't it. The idea just wasn't it with cameos. Competitively just wasn't it for the high top tier game players. It just overall, it was a miss everywhere. So it was just this weird game that is having an identity crisis that wanted to have this type of people, and this type of people, and trying to cater to everyone to where they lost their own identity and their own actual like correlation to what Mortal Kombat is. And it sucks because although there is things like bringing back animalities and all that stuff, it just never was a good idea, man. So y'all gotta let me know what's up, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one and peace.